Welcome back to the show this very morning. It's Morning Crossfire, 8:14 a.m. Nigerian time, and yes, it is the 26th day of August 2020. So much can be said about the news and the stories that are going on and making the rounds. One of those big stories from this week would have to be about community policing now. Well, as we would have it, the federal government has already agreed to implement community policing. Many of you will recall about last year, President Muhammadu Buhari talked about the need for strategic security involvement to resolve some of the challenges we have across our landscape, whether in the northeast, northwest, or any part of the country. A detailed information provided by men who are from the community who are certified to provide security as community police will make the difference. It is believed it will do so. However, the Nigerian governors also about the same time went into their various states, especially 6 states now in the southwestern parts of the country. On those states, of course, leading the charge with support from the likes of Lagos, Oyo states, also supporting Akeredolu State as well. They formulated what is now being described as Amotekun. Now, this is their own move to provide security in the southwestern region. The other state House of Assemblies voted on this, and yes, it went into law. The governor signed, and well, initially the Attorney General had his own reasons not to agree with them before the signing of the law, but they resolved that. They moved past that. But now, who would fund community policing, which I understand is a little bit different from the Amotekun program? In other words, this is a situation where the federal government is saying, with 13 billion, we can fund the community policing, we can provide a measure of security for the people, but the control of what the community police guys would do, and men and women would do, will be under the supervision of the Inspector General Police. However, that debate seems to be shaking many grounds as well, because one is wondering, is Amotekun community policing? Is community policing Amotekun? Trust me, there's a difference. Let's start off by listening to what the Deputy Inspector General of Police yesterday granted in an interview with channels with regards to clearing things up and what would happen with community policing, and also what the Senior Special Advisor to the President and media said about that. Let's take a listen to that. Let's start off from there. Take a listen.
The community policing strategy and implementation comes fully into operation. Everybody will follow suit. Everybody will join us and follow what we are preaching and what we are going to practice. I'll tell you how it will go. Now, I just told you that we are going to start the training and the retraining, and the sensitization stage is where we are marketing the product now. And I can tell you straight away that all the retired Inspector Generals of Police are coming on board also to assist in sensitizing in all the geopolitical zones of this country, all the members that we have inaugurated. So they are going to come around and speak with them, and they will tell them how we go about it. Now, by the time we train and we deploy all of them, mind you, they will be kitted. There will be uniform for all of them at the local government level. They will be kitted. We will take charge. And by the time we take charge, whoever is giving any support, we are going to receive, because as it were, we will expect any outfit that wants to give information and intelligence to the police to do so. But be mindful of the fact that the country has only one police force, and that is Nigeria Police.
Okay, so that makes up a part of that very interview just yesterday. Now, another part of it that becomes quite interesting, it would have to be what the media special advisor, senior special advisor to the President and media said about states and how they possibly would be funded. Take a listen for yourself.
I will merely speculate, because I can only speak for why it has taken the Buhari administration as much time to come to this point. But I think that on the overall, the history of state or community police in the country has been well documented. Going back to the First Republic, it is clear that native authority police that we had then was merely an instrument for the oppression of people who are opposed, to the powers that be, whether at the native authority level or whether at the native authority level or at the regional level. The country's experience was a horrid one indeed, and it is not surprising, therefore, that regional police was abolished for a national police because, that of course had helped to ensure a proper management and control and the abuse to which the police had become subject. For President Muhammadu Buhari, his concern had always been about the spread and the misuse of weapons in the hands of police. He said it repeatedly that, look, a lot of the states that had clamored for state police, many of them were unable to cope with the salary payments. If you hire a community policeman and give him a gun and keep him for 5-6 months without salary, what do you expect?
Big question that's been asked by Garba Shehu, the Senior Special Assistant to the President there, with regards to community policing. So how do governors intend to fund community policing? These are questions, if that comes their way, and also the role in which their own security apparatus in the various places are going to be. Joining me now would have to be retired Commissioner of Police, Lawrence Alobi. He joins us via the telephone line. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Let's start off by making an attempt to differentiate between what the regional security networks are being proposed, such as Amotekun, alongside community policing is. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, thank you very much. The community policing is a concept, it's a strategy that involves the community within any particular community in policing, law enforcement, and crime prevention and conflict resolution and peace building in a community, using those members of the community to serve their community to ensure that add value to the security and peace of their community. And the community policing concept is also kind of it promotes volunteerism. People have to volunteer to render service. It promotes the culture of service. We see most Nigerians believe that you must pay him or her for whatever service you want to render. But community policing, which is based on civil constabulary concept, will promote that culture of Nigerians willing to render service to their community, render to contribute towards the betterment of the peace and security of their community. And it is also being supervised by the Special Office of Inspector General of Police. And it has a structure that's from the local level, from the ward to the division to the local government to the state, to the command, to the state command, up to the force headquarters. Those of an advisory council that is at the state level comprises, which is chaired by the Commissioner of Police, and the alternate chairman is the traditional, like the chairman of the traditional council of that state. All secretary agencies are also part of it. All stakeholders are part of it, like religious leaders and all stakeholders. Eminent citizens of that state are part of it. They advise on what policy formulation and implementation. So, and again, they have to be trained, they have to be screened, that they have to recruit and screen within their locality and to be screened by the police and supervised by the police. So, but regional security like the one having the Southwest now is not in that form at all. It does not follow this process I've just mentioned now, having from the local government, area command, and the state level, and the force headquarters. That's got this structure.
So it's
regional security is just the region, like Southwest, for instance.
Yes.
That mobilize people, giving them uniform, and they're not being supervised precisely by the police, the way I see it. So I think there's a difference. But now I think they are consulting to see how the police can effectively supervise whatever security agency, because the police are the lead agency. The police should give the leadership direction of any security agency in the country. They are the taproot of internal security. And if any agency is left any like this private security or what of like it is done on the Southwest, they cannot be on their own, because The law doesn't allow that.
But the law allows them. The law allows them because 6 states, as states, House of Assembly voted, and this has gone into law in those areas.
No, what I'm saying is that there shall be no other police force, as the Constitution provides.
Okay.
But they need to supervise by the police. And the police give the rules of engagement. The police give the code of conduct. The police tell them they don't carry prohibited arms. Understand? So that is that. The police, they need to be supervised by the police, because if that is also, they don't go above board. They don't abuse that power. You know, when power is not properly regulated, it could be abused. So they will be able to function within the ambit of the law. They are there to ensure that the security of the region is safe and secure. But they also have to begin rules of engagement, and they have to be supervised by the police, which is the constitutional authority that is in charge of internal security and policing and law enforcement in the country.
Which brings forward the question now. If you're saying that they need to be supervised, and what has come of the conversation now is that the structure would see the Inspector General of Police supervise community policing and possibly regional police. But arguments last year that were quite clear was the fact the establishment of this by law went through the state's House of Assembly, and it was obvious that the structure release, because I saw the document that allowed, that pretty much describes the Southwest version of the security network they wanted to run. And that security network does not include the Nigerian police force. How come the Nigerian police force never advocated or come up with a counter argument about this before now?
Yeah, you see, the police is anybody wants to assist in the maintenance of law and order, insofar as whatever he's doing is within the ambit of the law. The Constitution says there shall be no other police force. I know Section 3 of the Constitution says that any law, anything that is contrary, that conflict with the Constitution is ab initio. So even if the state laws does not say that this regional security outfit supersedes the Nigerian police force, no. They need to be supervised.
They are not saying they supersede the Nigerian police force. You just talked about the law saying it doesn't allow any other Nigerian police force. They are not saying they're creating the police force. They are just creating a security network.
Yeah, you see, but the functions. You see, what defines an institution is the functions, the code of conduct, its mandate. You know, these are the things that, so that the point what I'm saying is that they need to supervise by the police. That has to be done, because otherwise there will be a problem. Because, as I say, the Constitution says there shall be no other police force. It's of the nomenclature, whether you call it academic or whatever you call it, whatever. What are the functions? What are the functions? What are their mandate? Their mandate is to prevent crime, maintain law and order, and it was because this helpments is an attack in the region. That's the fact that they need to ensure that their communities are safe. But then what I'm saying is that, for me, I would strongly recommend that they should not be left on their own, because one, even if their state House of Assemblies have made laws to support what they are doing, to give the legal backing, but they need to also supervise by the Nigerian police force, which the Nigerian police force will give the leadership direction of that, whatever they are doing. Anything internal security, the Nigerian police force is statutory function, as the statutory function of the Nigerian police force, to give it, like election, for instance. Other agencies will be involved, but the police give the leadership direction. So internal security, the police also should give leadership direction. Whoever wants to organize, the police give them guidelines. You can exist, you can operate, but you have to operate within these guidelines. Rules of engagement.
So
and they should make sure that.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We're doing the rules of engagement, but we've also seen the Nigerian police force making an attempt over the years to be efficient. And they've not exactly excelled at it, because many times, every time we have internal security, let me use your phrase now, internal security issues within the country, on most occasions, we sometimes have to resort to the Nigerian army, sometimes we have to resort to the DSS, sometimes we have to resort to the Civil Defense Corps. What that literally means is that the Nigerian police force has not been effective over the years. So why so much so is, how can they supervise if they have not exactly showed skills at excelling in the area of security within the country?
It's unfortunate in this country. Outside the shores of this country, Nigerian police force have always excelled. I was in charge of federal operations. I was supervising peacekeeping operations, UN peacekeeping, AU were under my desk. I was the desk officer in charge of peacekeeping operations in Nigerian police for 5 years. And you see, The point is that this is what is mentioned now, that why is this proliferation of they bring military and policing and so forth. It is not supposed to be so. It is because there's a systematic attempt to destroy Nigerian police force. The police, which is the taproot of internal security, have been weakened. If the taproot of a tree is weakened, the tree itself becomes very vulnerable. You see, so when you destroy the police, you are destroying internal security of this country.
Well, I understand where you're coming from. You're saying if they destroy it, the question is...
That we are borrowing their producers from the government. There's an act. Excuse me, there's an act which says that the military are not supposed to be involved in policing and law enforcement. It is an act in the US. No, the army, the air force, they are never involved. But in this country, because the police which is supposed to be given, they are not being empowered, they are not being well funded, they are not giving funds for training. For today, policing is capital intensive. And it need to be well funded. Police is also knowledge driven. They need to be trained. But they're not being given funds to do this. And you blame it, the police is also a victim of a defective system. So if the police is well funded, well equipped, well trained, well motivated, I can assure you they will excel this country to be safe and secure. If it's Nigerian police force, if it's international of this country. So it's just because of the defective system in in governance and our cultural governance that we have this problem. The police is if you're giving them what they need, for instance, look at now. There are no community police and on. Which each local government, each DPO, each division needs a particular number of vehicles. You need communication, you need training, you need logistics. All these have they been provided? You cannot ask a child to go and fetch water with bare hands. You have to give the enablement, the enable logistics and the record for him to be able to fetch the water for you. So they blame the police. Police is also only a victim of a defective system. The defensive system that appreciate what the police do. Everything is supposed to be based on need. What does the police need to be effective? They've not been able to give the police what they need to make them to be effective, and that's why the country is suffering. The police want to be safe and secure. People equip the police, fund the police, train the police, motivate the police, and you cannot see that the police will deliver.
Retired CP Lawrence Alobi, you just talked about the police not being funded, but the same federal government that ought to fund the police, the Nigerian police force, is now thinking of putting 13 billion naira in community policing. Would you say that is different from the already existing framework? Why can't that be used in the already existing framework as against going into creating a new set of recruitment, new set of people, training, and the likes of that? Why do you think funds are being pushed into community policing by the federal government as against, funding the existing structure, which is defective already, as you say?
What I'm saying is that the police have been so neglected, the people have been so abandoned, the police is like an orphan. I'm saying community police is a new strategy. It's a new strategy which it came up since 2004, but this idea has not come to formalize it, to give it a formal, they give it a went all hog to ensure that it is implemented with a structure. A structure that...
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. What I'm asking is 13 billion naira is being pushed in a direction different from the existing direction. We already know what the police is. You just talked about the line of how the police force works from the IGP all the way down into the various state structures with commissioners and AIGs, DIGs, somewhere all in between. Well structured as we have that. But 13 billion is being allocated outside of that structure to fund a new structure by the same federal government that funds the Nigerian police force. What's your take on that?
It is not a new structure. It's a structure. It's an integrated structure in the police structure. You know, like the community policing, like I said, the concept, the vision is to get the public engaged, get citizens, community members of the community engaged, get community participation, get them integrated, let them be part of the crime prevention, crime detection process, information gathering, and working together to ensure the community is safe. So there are requirements. Logistics, for instance, they need to get vehicles. These people who are coming are going to be trained. You need communication. You need all this because the community need to communicate with one another. And they also, like I said, there's a structure that's where they have to be supervised. It has to be coordinated. So, and it's also making the people to, all a lot of people, Nigerians don't also believe that security and policing is purely for the government. No, the citizens, in line with Section 24 of the Constitution, says that the citizens have a constitutional duty to assist security agencies in terms of law and order. So community policing will now get the citizens engaged and integrated to be actively involved in policing, actively involves crime prevention, actively involves conflict resolution that involves the citizens within a locality. And they're going to be withdrawn. They're going to withdraw from their immediate environment, not from someone from another community to come and police, to come and serve as constabularies in a particular community. Those constabularies will be recruited from a particular community, and they serve that community, who understand the dynamics of that community, understand the relations of that community, understand the culture and values of that community, so they're going to work with the police in that community. So it's a new development which will foster public police partnership. So it also build public trust and confidence, and the police themselves should make themselves worthy of the trust of the people, because we now work with the people.
If I were to summarize how you said it now, CP Lawrence Alobi retired, what you're telling me is that we're adding new wine into old wine.
No, not a new wine. You see, life is creativity. You have to be creative and innovative. Well, we want this is a problem-solving approach to the situation. We want, because all along the citizens don't feel that they are part of security architecture. That security is all, police is all about with government. But now this is now a vision, a strategy, a framework that will integrate the citizens, the community members themselves, to be involved in ensuring that their community is safe and secure, the community is peaceful. So it's not a question of a new wine and a new wine in an old wine skin. No, they're all integrated. It's all in the same process to achieve the same objective for peace and security, to make security safe and secure for all law-abiding citizens. So it's just, in life, you have to be creative based on as challenges arrive. As new development, new creation, we have to be creative, be able to overcome challenges that emerge over time.
All right, CP Lawrence Alobi retired. Please, we will reconnect with you in the next few minutes, about 5 minutes after the commercial break. I still have questions to ask you with regards to regional security or regional policing. It has been in Nigeria before. It failed, it stopped working effectively. So went into the national system. And now the national system seems to be taking on a new integration. Let me use your words on that. All right, stay with us. We'll reconnect with you shortly. That'll be in the next 5 minutes after the commercial break.
You're welcome.
That's right here on Nigeria Info 95.1. Yes, it is the station that brings you heavyweight politics in the morning. I'm Femi DMLA. Of course, Swat just stepped out for a few minutes. But just to reiterate some points that we've been talking about this morning. Community policing, regional policing, and the likes of it. The drama seems to be taking on a new measure every day. Last year, it was a whole new case about the legality of creating security networks within the region. Today, the federal government seems to be more than ever ready to start off the community policing, having provided 13 billion naira as part of the funding that would help the current Nigerian police to integrate community policing into their program. Joining me via the telephone line is CP Lawrence Alobi. He is retired, and he's been explaining to a large extent the advantages of community policing, and also mentioning the very need to provide more funding for the current Nigerian police force in order for them to be able to do much more than they're being perceived to be doing for Nigerians at this time. So good to reconnect with you once again. Yes, let's move on to another part of the conversation. Yesterday, the special advisor to the president, Garuba Shehu, senior special advisor to the president on media, Garuba Shehu explained that, pretty much the community policing was not going to be in conflict with regional networks, that security networks were being provided. However, some new reactions have followed through. The Director General of the Development, I'm going to get this title right now, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, was speaking. I'm talking about Dr. Sheye Oyeleye. He was speaking about the fact that the House of Assemblies have passed this state law, and the law that guides Amotekun, for example, comes from the state's law, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the central. But having established that, let me ask you this directly: is there a danger in regional security networks in, for example, the Northwest? Northwest would mean the name that has been flaunted so far, the Shege Kapasa. Some people say it's that's the name, some say that's not the name. In the southwest, as we would have it with Amotekun, and then in the southeast, where they are also been talking in the last few months about their own regional security network. What's the challenge in creating a security network for your region as pushed by the governors of these various states?
You say the governors have sworn on oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Section 217 says there shall be no other police force, the Nigerian police force, in the part of the Federation. So any security outfit, any outfit that is being set up must be in line with the federal constitution of Nigeria. It will not contradict the laid down constitution, which says the Nigerian Police Force is the principal agency in terms of internal security. The Nigerian Police Force is statutory charged with peace and internal security of the country. So any security outfit that will be said must be supervised by the police. The police will give the rules of engagement. But
the governors did. I recall the governors did have a meeting with the Inspector General of Police at least twice. I saw minutes of that meeting, and the NGF also did declare that they had guidelines and a little bit of a narrative, and I don't want to use the word agreement now, but they had meetings with the current Inspector General of Police with regards to what they're doing. So is there anything wrong with the security network in itself? Not to say maybe it's competing with the MPF, but to say, is there anything wrong with the security network in itself?
No, the important thing is, what is your objective? What is the aim? What is your goal? To achieve what?
To safeguard the people.
Maintain law and order. Maintain law and order. Ensure that peace and security is guaranteed. You know, the governors too have sworn, they took, like I said, to uphold the Constitution. And Section 14 says, of the Constitution says that security and the well-being of citizens shall be the purpose of government. So if they are concerned about the security of citizens, they are right, because they have a duty to protect and ensure that citizens are safe and secure. But then the government, the process has to be in line with the lay-down principle, lay down the ground of this country, which is the Constitution of Nigeria. The Nigerian Police Force is a principal agency in charge of internal security. Anybody wants to do anything in internal security, you must at least, you ought under the law to ensure that the police are aware that what you are doing is in line with the law. The police will give the rules of engagement, so there will be no conflict between community policing and the regional security. Everything, like I said, is all aimed at promoting peace and security. And like I said, the police must have to be engaged in supervising, in monitoring, and have kind of feedback mechanism to ensure that whatever they do, it is done within the ambit of the law. They will be given rules of engagement and code of conduct.
But
for instance,
the code of conduct. Yeah, the code of I'm sorry to say, I like what you mentioned about the code of conduct. I've seen the document that pushes this security network, and I will tell you, the Inspector General of Police is aware, the Attorney General of the Federation is aware about the security networks, and they also do say when they do arrest people at the community level, that's the security networks, they are willing to share information, willing to share miscreants, and also push on criminals to the hands of the police. So is there really some competition that we're not getting in the picture here?
No. You see, they have the power to arrest. Like every other private citizen has the power to arrest under the law. You have a power to arrest. Behind your arrest, what do? You arrest, hand over to the police, who are now charged under the law to investigate criminal investigation. They will now investigate and prosecute. So the action is in the one. It will serve at least to assist in terms of the manpower shortage in the Nigerian police force. Police is grossly the manpower is very, very grossly inadequate. And we are told Nigerian population to reach about 200 million, but Nigerian police officers are less than 400,000. So know that. So this other outfit will complement effort of the police. But that said, the important thing is that they will operate, but they operate now with ambit of the law and with the supervision and guidance of the Nigerian police force, with the rules of engagement and code of conduct. So they don't do anything against the law. That's the point. And everything is that it's aimed at achieving the same goal, maintain law and order, prevent crime, detect crime, and also gather information and collaborate with the police and also security agencies to ensure the community is safe and secure for all law-abiding citizens.
Okay, so I would like you to stay on the line as we bring in people who have been listening to us in this conversation to share their opinions, comments, or questions as we would have on the show this morning. CP Lawrence Alobi, retired, is on the telephone line this morning. You want to make your comments, questions, or interrogate his position on some of these issues? I'd like to hear from you now. The numbers remain 0946 00951. We also do have 080-3123-0293. You can also call in on 080-9597-4869. Write in on WhatsApp or Telegram on 080-999-30137. He's on the line. He can hear you.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Yes, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Ayo from Airport Road.
Ayo from Airport Road. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, you know, I heard what our former retired from Commissioner for Police says since we have been interviewing. Very good and fine. But what we want to say here now is that, you know, all what the people are trying to do in their various regions, I don't think that it can contradict the police efforts. I don't think so. Because why? You see what some of the things that have been happening in these areas, people they cannot sit down and fold up their hands and say that until the thing gets spoiled. Just for the betterment of our country. But just one thing that he mentioned that is that it must be just to maintain law and order and to do all those things. So if it is all it's okay. Let them set up whatever they want to say. The police must supervise all those things. That's my take.
Many thanks to you. Good morning to you as well. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, family.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, my name is Mike when wind blows.
All right, go on. The former CP can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's always a pleasure listening to Mr. Lawrence Alobi, and I actually agree with what he said. The security situation in the country, talking about flaunting a new security structure with over 13 billion naira, for me, is a misplaced priority because some of us have been saying it. I've made a lot of presentations somewhere, like this. If we don't look at our communication, I'm sure Mr. Lawrence Alobi will agree with me that crime prevention is far, far better and cheaper than crime fighting, and communication is the bedrock of any effective crime monitoring and prevention of crime. The porous nature of our communications, I've told NCC that until we are able to clean up the GSM network database, we should forget about talking about this security of a thing. You can imagine the situation where a whole governor's convoy, the military convoy will be ambushed. We do not communicate before the kind of operations. And in fact, the most popular one, when kidnappers will kidnap someone, use SIM card to demand and negotiate for ransom, and they tell us they can't unravel their identity. For me, they're not serious about it. If they want to, let us look at our communications instead of fighting another structure. That's my take.
All right, thank you so much. He's talking about using intelligence to intercept crime. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is Mr. Sam speaking.
All right, Mr. Sam, let's hear from you.
My take is that the people of the Southwest should not be intimidated by anybody or group of people, because when you see what is happening in Nigeria, you will agree with me that each region need to protect their own people, need to protect their region. You can see what is happening in the north. I wonder why a right-thinking Nigeria will not support any group of people that will come up with a security outfit that will protect the life and properties of Nigerians. It's quite unfortunate that every move being made by individuals or group of people to protect their own people is being, I don't know how to put it,
scrutinized
by sitting government. It's very unfortunate. They should not be intimidated. They should carry on with their activity. It says it's for the protection of their own people. Good morning.
All right, good morning to you. Thank you for that as well. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 more calls and then read off some messages in the show to allow him to respond. Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Peter.
All right, Peter, we're listening to you.
Thank you. This what the Southwest, they say that they organize just to protect their people. Everything in Nigeria is just like maybe they want to protect it. If not so, if the sense of security passes in Southwest, does it mean that it's only Ibadan with the day? There are many Igbos living there. There are many Hausas living there. There are many Efik living there. There are many Igalas living there. So we should not just look at it as maybe they want to protect only their people. If they come up with that, we should just, as if as far as it is under the law of Nigeria, we should go ahead and do it. Because not only the Yorubas want to defend. Everybody that can live in that region. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. One more, and then we'll read some messages as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Welcome.
From Lokoboma. Femidi, I like speaking with analogies. You are sick. You have gone to the hospital. They say you have tuberculosis, and you have to take medicine for 6 months. And you have gotten the medicine. You have not finished taking the medicine. You have taken only for 2 months, and then you are going for traditional medicine that this have not finished. That is the same thing that is happening to our Nigerian police. He has mentioned the number of police force personnel we're supposed to have, and we have not even done half of it. We have not solved the problem that the Nigeria. If we have enough personnel, we even have it in every village, the nooks and crannies of this country, and the security challenge will be solved. We will face. Now will be solved. Now we have not done the needful, and we are going to community policing. We are not mature for community policing. It will cause more dissension in the society. Why not equip them? Why not get the numerical strength, and to make sure that you have done the necessary international or global best practices. When it fails, you go to community policing. You have not done the needful, and you are going to community policing. Our leaders must do the needful, and the Inspector General of Police must do the needful. If it is not possible, you resign. Because if you are there, you are not doing the needful, and you fail,
okay,
you will have to account.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Paul.
Tomorrow you will account to God.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul, for your time via the telephone line. Let's quickly read of some of the messages we also do have. This message says, your guest said the Nigerian police do well outside Nigeria, but do poorly inside Nigeria. This is revealing. As you can put 2 and 2 together, Mr. Ike is the one sharing that point of view. Dr. Famidi, federal government has paralyzed police, army and other security forces to battle with terrorists because headsmen are given AK-47 to attack people. And even the non-headsmen have been arrested and prosecuted. They go about with AK-47 and no arrest, but no other different person than the headsmen have been arrested. Well, give me a moment. I'll be back shortly to read more of your... All right, let me read more messages as we have them coming this morning. Good morning. I heard your guests say the police force has been neglected. My question is, which area has the police force been neglected? Solomon from Niger State is asking that question. This other question comes in from Victor from Cuba. He says, this country belongs to all of us. I have a very good plan or idea that will make the Nigerian police force to perform their duty well, but I'm not a police person. I'm just an ordinary person. I believe this idea is going to work very well if they are serious. Victor from Cuba did write the team. Good morning, Nigeria Info. Henry from Itama here. Your guest said citizens have no power to arrest. Can you explain? I'm not sure. Okay. And then this other message that we do also have here says, conventional police has been ethnicized. Thus, it lacks support from citizens in the southern Nigeria, whom are the mostly of a particular religion. With the methodology, the so-called community policing is being routed by the federal government. It is dead on arrival because it is still under the ethnicized conventional police command. Something is suspicious here. Why is the federal government so interested in funding the community policing and having under the control of Nigeria Police Force? Is the federal government trying to muzzle the will and resolve of the people from southern region to secure the lands from criminality that is most carried out from persons of a certain affiliation? Till we remove the ethnocentricity and religious way of life in our conventional police, it will continue to lack the support of persons of a particular disposition, a religious disposition. Name from Moscow did stipulate that. CP, we don't have much time, but let me allow you round off. You've heard what the people are talking about with regards to this. What's your take on this?
Like on the issue, somebody said community policing is not possible here. It's not true. Community policing, like Nigeria, he said Nigeria is not right for community police. Community policing is public, getting the citizen engaged, getting the citizen participating in simple policing, simple law enforcement, information gathering, and conflict resolution is problem-solving approach to policing, and that is being proactive. So I think, and it is also based on the fact that the concept that people, citizens, community members of a particular community or particular locality will be used to monitor, to function in their community where they understand the reality of that community, the dynamics of that community. So it's not a question of being about ethnicity or religious sentiments or parochial thinking. The people of that environment understand the dynamics. They know who is there. Be able to get information information and share with the police. And they also have to work with the police. They have to be supervised by the police. And it's a structure. So community policing, like the IG is trying to implement, is a welcome development. And I can assure you, if implemented, has been envisaged or being proposed, it will go a long way in solving our security problem. And then on that one is saying that funding the police, funding the police, this 13 billion that's being given is misplaced. It's not true at all. Policing and law enforcement is capital intensive. You have to communicate. You have to get communication, modern communication. You have to gather information. You have to get technology. You have to also get technology. Policing and law enforcement is knowledge driven, and based on that, now people need to build the capacity of the people to be able to know what to do and how to do it, and do it in line with professional standards and technical best practices. So the issue of funding is need, and funding is based on need. They need communication, need vehicle, they need mobility, they need logistics, they need to be motivated, and all these things. So Nigerians what we should do is that let us ensure that whatever that has been voted as given to the police for this community policing is usually utilized for the benefit and to achieve the purpose for which it was meant. We should not begin to look at being pessimistic. We should be optimistic and give them the necessary support and encouragement. And then whatever thing that will make it succeed, that's what we should do. Every Nigerian should be concerned: how can I contribute towards the security and peace of my community, of my country, of my state? We should always looking at how to find for. Look at how can be of use, how can we contribute, how creative are we? So community policy is a creative way of trying to work together with the people, get the people engaged and get the people participate. Community policy is like democracy. Democracy is participatory in nature and for the interest of the people. So community policy is in the interest of the people. When the people themselves get involved in ensuring that the environment is safe and secure, ensuring they work in line with the rule of law, and also being working also with based on the mandate, being based on the rules of engagement and they are being supervised by the Nigerian police force, who are under the law, who are certainly responsible for internal security and law enforcement.
What do you say to what Elvis did right to me? He said, Femi D, according to the Minister of Justice, national security is more important than the rule of law. What's your take on that?
The national security cannot be important than the rule of law because
that's according to he is saying that's according to the Minister of Justice.
I don't want to go into polemics. I want to go into any issue of contention. What I'm saying that there must be law before security must be anchored on law, because you have to have a base, and both need security must be based on the law, because for instance, security has a function based on the tenets of the law, and the law that will give the security direction. Because without the law, security now the power could be abused. So law is there to guide the actions. Law is meant to guide actions and behavior. That's the jurisprudential value of law. Law is meant to guide actions of people in governance at whatever level. So the law is just like a compass. We guys know what to do. So law is very, very key in every facet of the human society. That's what gives us direction. That will give us the how to go about it. So that it is law and law is meant to serve the interest of man. So we have to reconcile between law and security, because security needs law. The security has to work in tandem with the law. And the law is meant to be the needs of man.
All right. Well, so, let's leave it at that this morning. We're out of time. CP Lawrence Alobi, retired, joins us this morning for an extensive conversation on community policing. A big thanks to you for your insight into many of these areas. We really appreciate your contribution with regards to this conversation this morning.